So at what point did the book come into it? And when was
Oh,
that something you've been wanting to write for a long time, or did the idea just suddenly, jump out of the blue at you one day and then you're like, okay, I've got to, get this down?
yeah. I had never, oddly enough, thought about, I had never like had a novel in me. Like I never been dying to write a novel. Um, Basically what happened was, so I had kids and then was reading a lot of kids books to my kids. And then when my son, who's 14 now, when he was about 6, 7, 8, we were reading these, they call them middle grade books. They're right before young adult books. And so, for kids who are between like 8 and 12. And we just read a lot of these books, like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, those sort of types of books. And we would just find various series we liked. And then we would read like, 10 books in the series and then go to another series. And I probably love the books more than he did. I thought they were really well written and I just really loved it. I didn't know this whole world of middle grade fiction existed until, I started doing it with my son. And, I had I probably had 100 unsold TV pitches, but I had one that I had always really liked. And it was about, the movie, The Last Starfighter, where like,
Oh yeah.
they play the video game. So The Last Starfighter is like you're playing like a Space Invaders, a video game, and it turns out aliens have put that video game here to find somebody who would be good at fighting in their real alien wars, and then they take you to outer space. So that was always in the back of my mind. And so I thought, oh, what if there was like a girl who was good at Candy Crush? And then it turned out that there was a real world of candy, and that game was just to train to find a war. It's basically The Last Starfighter with candy instead of and I thought for TV, I thought you could do it a lot of different ways. It could just be fully animated, or it could be like live action. And when you go into the game, then it's animated, some sort of mix of live action and animation. Anyway, I had pitched it and never sold it. And I don't remember the actual moment of thinking, oh, I can do this. But I just realized I was reading all these middle grade books with my son and loved them. And I had this unsold idea. And I was like, I'm just going to write this as a book, for him. And so I would write, pages, and then every night at bath time, we would have like a story session, and I would review with, my son, Hugh, what I wrote for the day. And he would just unvarnished, no, don't like that. Don't do that. Or, yeah, that's cool.
He had notes.
Yeah, he had tons of notes, so many notes. And my wife would be yelling at and like, what are you doing there? You're working him to death. And I'm like, it's a story meeting. We got stuff to do here.